This is officially episode 4, and it's not confusing. It's not confusing at all. Each of the last couple of episodes, we've had 2 tracks from the upcoming album Inside of Me. The first episode is just the one track, The Forgetful Thief. Episode 2, tracks 2 and 3, I'll Bleed in My Own Time, and the title track, Inside of Me. Episode 3, last week's episode, songs 4 and 5. Track 4, which is Mirror of Me, and track 5, Another Day Holding Daniel. Now we are in episode 4, which is tracks 6 and 7. So there we are. That's almost in a way me kind of saying to myself, it's not confusing, because what I wanted to do was not just release an album, of course, but give some degree of insight into what Inside of Me is all about. I will layer over, rather than me dipping down, moving to the side, but the graphic that's behind me, the album title, Inside of Me, and Inside of Me lives inside of you too, with the hashtag Mental Health Matters. This is due for release, the album, the 1st of November 2025, which is the beginning of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Now, with each of the tracks, I've created videos. I say I've created videos, let me just clarify that for a moment. I don't own the rights to the videos that I'm sharing, I'm not claiming to. But what I've done is I've created a hybrid of the songs, the tracks, with really opposing at times visuals. So the two forces together, the audio of the 10 tracks from the album Inside of Me, my journey 17 years ago. I went through simultaneously, if you haven't watched any previous episodes or you don't know me, 17 years ago, over a period of years, even through into recent times as well, I went through throat cancer. I was diagnosed 2008, lost the ability to speak for an entire year. Am I making up for it now? In some ways, yes. But I am using my voice to reach out and connect with many others, because the messages I'm sharing, I strongly know, not just feel, speak for others. Also at the same time, I went through separation and ultimately divorce. I feel that could have been a completely different journey. It didn't have to work how it did. And the lies that were told at the time were not the truth of how the marriage actually broke down. That affected my children, and I still feel through to this day, has ultimately affected their thinking, because there were things that were told that were not the truth. I've tried to rebalance that in different ways, it didn't work. Am I looking for retribution, revenge, vendetta? Not at all. Not at all. If I would have done that, as I've shared regularly, I would have done that 17 years ago, and or even a period of time after that. I feel now is the time to share without even me going into the graphic detail personally. You might feel I just have, I haven't. And I don't particularly overly want to go into the detail. Not only that, I was trying to leave a cultist belief system at the time. I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I want to clarify again, I'm sharing this regularly. I'm not anti-belief system, anti-religion, anti-God, anti-faith, anti-spiritual. Definitely not. However, when you do try to leave and you're abused by those that should know better, it's traumatic. And all of that combined was traumatic at the same time. Everything I've shared so far. To top it off, at the time, I had a hand-delivered letter from my dad's second wife telling me that he died. And I hadn't seen him for 38 years. Now, within all of this, somebody might be listening and thinking, boo hoo hoo, fine, fine. If that's your point of view, okay. But what I'm sharing is all of that was at the same time. And certain individuals around that experience really didn't take into consideration all of the things that were experienced at the time. Was it a mental breakdown? From my point of view, definitely yes. Was I in my sound state of mind? To the best of my ability, but I don't feel certain individuals helped at the time, and the belief system, the religious organisation, etc. And that's my message. It's often complicated, isn't it? One of the tracks we're going to play today, I think we're going to dive into the video before the music kicks back in. So let me present to you an interesting combination of visual content meets track 6 from the upcoming album Inside of Me. But remember, some of these themes will speak for you. Some of the lyrics will speak for you. This is about a common experience. Whilst November the 1st is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, the beginning, I'm not narrowing this purely to men. There are going to be elements of Fathers for Justice, but I don't want to split the planet in two. I don't want it to seem as if it's just men-centric, me-centric. I've shared this before. Check out the previous episodes. If you haven't got the time to watch the entire podcast, you can click on. I'm actually independently sharing each track with the video, the accompanying video. This one is a really interesting combination of some very well-known Alfred Hitchcock films, including, if not the most famous, Psycho, meets the track Murder the Past.
Murder the past, kill the poetic view. You told a lie, watered it, and my how it grew. Murder the past, slaughtered by your fiction game. Dug the deeds deep on me and raped my very name. Murdered the past, truth on the table. Evicted, no choice, ID'd by your self-righteous label. Murdered the past, given birth to my second chance. Murdered the past, guilty become rarely dance.
It's uneasily impactful. Uneasily impactful. And a lot of the videos are. And I did think through the combination, bringing together the visual energy and the audio energy. And some of them, they're so opposed in some ways. Now, Murder the Past, I just want to explain because it's created an interesting topic of discussion, which is, can we really? Can we really? Should we? Should we murder the past? Now, there is a little bit of tongue-in-cheek irony because I don't think we fully can. It's a little bit like healing. And I often explain this. This is my point of view. This is what I'm expressing. But I really do feel there's very shared truth. Some people use the term, don't they, my truth. I feel I like to do the best I can to endeavour to focus more on our truth. Some people feel very like they've got something missing because people keep telling them you need to heal. You need to heal from this. You need to get over this. Now, that's a very toxic message because how is it possible with such pain, trauma, tragedy, loss, to ever get over that? And I don't think we should. Now, equally, my message often when I'm sharing, whether it's here with you in YouTube and or Spotify, I want to explain that to those listening in Spotify again. You might be thinking, if talking about videos, head over to the YouTube channel and you'll see what we're talking about. But I want to share this everywhere. And the reason is this thought, this message, that we shouldn't get over certain things. What we do with them is important because we can take them and reframe them, reform them into something that enables our present even more, so our current experience, and also projects and propels our future. So it's a question of taking that experience, that past, bringing it into a more enabled present, and also using it as fuel, power for the future. So therefore it's not good to necessarily avoid. Now I know that's why I chose as the song, not bury the past, because I feel that's even worse. Murder it in the sense that it no longer has control over us. So that's not over explaining. I'm going to pick on the third verse, I believe it is. Murder the past, backstab the knife. You took my voice, you took my life. Now at the time when I went through throat cancer, that was bad enough. That was bad enough within itself, and anybody who's ever experienced that, you would know. And cancer generally. But then there was everything else that went on at the same time. And I don't want to use the word, I don't, unforgivable, I don't. Because that's not the case. However, it's not been given the truth of what the experience was. So therefore I'm sharing that because I want others to know the depth of that broken room that you see in the image behind you, and or a graphic I will now put over. Very, very strong image on the album cover. You took the first shot, set up my fall, took all I'd got. Murder the past, my reputation you killed, then danced in my blood, and my you were thrilled. So that's from my perspective, but you may have experienced that. I really hope not for your sake. Drop in the comments anything you want to share, your own personal journey, possibly, depending on who you are and how it is, it could lead to an interview with and for you on this YouTube channel, and also simultaneously audio in Spotify. Because sometimes we feel those experiences of trauma, loss, the experience of feeling broken, that's weakness. But of course, over time, it does become strength. I'm not promoting, I'm not saying you have to go through those traumatic experiences for that to be the case. I'm not providing some, oh, it's okay. This is where, you You're going to feel better and your strength will come from. That takes a considerable period of time. To be accurate, to give you that number again, in this case, 17 years. I've done a lot of collaboration with others, which has been brilliant, by the way. And I've decided, with the experience of 17 years ago, to really open up even more. I've shared bits, but not fully. So, another song in a moment, which is powerful. A song called Mother. When myself and Michelle Roach, were together at the time, we had a holiday away, Gran Canaria, and I was actually writing the album. And the track you're about to hear with an accompanying video was going to be a hidden track. Over time, I thought, no, I need to share this. And this is the potential at times toxicity of parenting. The influence as children that we experience from toxic parents. That can be mums, that can be dads, it can be both. So I'm not just saying that's mums, that can be dads as well. I'm not saying I've never done that. But what I am saying is sometimes the loudest voice is not always the truest. There we are. So 17 years it's taken to share this. Now, my own experience of mother. My dad, 38 years not seeing. I'm not going to go into any more detail than that. While myself and Michelle were away on holiday, we watched a film called I Am Mother. It's one of these AI future dystopia type films. And it's basically about a robot who becomes mother of this child. I can't remember the twists and turns of the film. It's well worth a watch. It's really, really one of those films again that's like, whoa, a bit uncomfortable, a bit Matrix-like in some ways. So I felt this would be a completely, because I actually started writing the song even more while we were away. After this, I'm going to share a little bit more around where you can find me, what's going on at the moment, the growth of the album, how it's reaching out to more people, how it's becoming not just inside of me, but inside of you too. Hold on tight, because it could be a bit of a triggering video in some ways, and particularly the conclusion, the sound of a child crying. I've got my own experience, you've got yours, others have got their perspective. This is a combination for me of experiences over the years, and hearing something about one person from one parent and never having the opportunity to know the other side because that was taken. Loss at times, grief, is not just about losing those you love, it's also losing those you never knew. Many people like me never had the opportunity to either get to know one parent or both parents. So that's why I'm saying this could be a little triggering for individuals, but emotion is important to face. Trauma is important to face, not just for, say, me, for example, but to share that, because that could prove useful to someone else. I Am Mother, the film, meets track 7 from Inside of Me, Mother, the song.
Tell me the truth, mother, knit me a new life. Stitch the card back together again. And this time let me take the knife. Loyalty will cut you deep, deeper than no other. Loyalty cuts deep in me, deeper than mother. Can you see the truth, mother? Can you see it through the eyes of your son? Take me back to the womb to begin again, and until the cycle is undone. Loyalty will cut me deep, deeper than my sister, father, lost brother. Loyalty cuts deep in me, deeper than my mother. Mother, who are you? Mother, why are you born into my mind? Mother, loyalty was fed to me. Mother, loyalty's lie designed. I trusted you, that's good for who? I trusted you, that's good for who? Loyalty will cut me deep, deeper than my sister, father, lost brother. Loyalty cuts deep in me, deeper than my mother. Mother, can you give birth to the lost years? Mother, can you give birth to the lost years? I ask you.
It's powerful. Again, I want to go back to the previous track, Murder the Past, before we talk about Mother. And I want to thank Glyn Devy. I've lifted some old footage from a video that Glyn created when I released a single with Glyn's support for The Voice Within. There's now a new version of that song, The Voice Within an Echo. And that's not to mention the album Inside of Me coming as well, November the 1st, 2025. Remember, it's the beginning of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I want to thank Glyn. Also, Mark Walker, working on all 10 tracks of the album Inside of Me, phenomenal. Not just guitars, but also the production. Working with me. The fade part in Murder the Past, it fades out and then fades back in again before the conclusion. Mark very open to the suggestion of ideas. The sound of a crying baby at the end of Mother. I remember Mark thinking, "Are you sure?" Yet we went with it, went for it, and not only Mark's own creative ability, but also his ability to be able to work with me. All of the songs were written before the studio in a basic form, and then we developed them. At time of recording, a week after the album's release, I will be performing live at Blackpool HMV on the first floor, November the 8th. It's a week after the album's official release, 1 p.m. UK time. I'm going to be going live in TikTok at the same time. I'm doing tons in TikTok. What's normally happening with these videos, just to explain, in YouTube, there's a podcast version, which generally I'm going to share on the Friday. So time of recording, I'm recording this on Monday the 13th. Quick bit of math, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, is that correct? So 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, this Friday, I will be releasing the YouTube video. It will be a premiere. Then across the weekend, the Saturday, I will have a standalone video of Murder the Past. So just the music video. Sunday, I will have it, makes it easier for me to do that gesture. Sunday, it will be Mother, the music video. Normally on the Monday, I'm then sharing the audio Spotify. So if you're listening in Spotify, go back across the weekend and all of the videos then will be public. Kind of makes sense. It's not part of a massive strategic plan. Some of it has happened organically. I want to share now that next week, episode 5, so we've got the beginning of the music, I'll let it run and I'll pause it in a moment. We will have tracks 8 and 9, and I'm going to share a little bit more about those because I now know. That will be episode 5. We're the penultimate episode of the podcast. Track 8, Cast the First Stone, will have a video that accompanies it, which is Life of Brian, Monty Python. Watch out for that one. Track 9, Easy Enemy, really mellow, melancholy, sad, truthful song, real song, emotional. We'll have Robin Williams, tragically took his life, a comedian, Mrs. Doubtfire. Mrs. Doubtfire meets track 9, Easy Enemy. It's this really kind of uncomfortably opposed at times energies, but there are some tragically sad moments in Mrs. Doubtfire with regard to the character whose name I can't remember. Is it Daniel? I can't even remember now. But who becomes Mrs. Doubtfire so that he can see his children. And there's some real heavy emotion in that incredibly funny film. That's Robin Williams. That's the kind of person he was. So I feel those energies go together really interestingly. The final track from this day on, at time of recording, I don't know what visual image I'm going to put with the final track from this day on. Incredibly optimistic song. Looking at the future, Easy Enemy takes a turn in the middle of the song where it does become about the future. I won't share any more than that. So maybe, here's a thought that's coming to me. Drop into the comments suggestions for a video for From This Day On. That would be interesting. Very future, very optimistic, very hopeful. That's what the song is. Now, I want to mention that's across the weekend, but every Monday evening, I will be sharing live in TikTok, 6:30 p.m. generally, all of the tracks from the album. And at time of recording, it's Monday the 13th. Tonight, I will be sharing live track 8, Cast the First Stone, and also all of the other 7 tracks. We're building up each week, and therefore it would be January, I'm moving into January already. October the 20th, Monday the 20th of October will be track 9, Easy Enemy, and all of the first 8 tracks. Monday, October the 27th, I had to think for a minute there, 6:30 p.m. in TikTok, it's going to be the entire album. I have a series of interviews coming up, as well as what I'm sharing here with you in the YouTube, and if you're listening in Spotify, the Spotify audio podcast. This is about shared emotion. Inside of me lives inside of you too. Mental health matters. It's about being open. It's about being human. It's about sharing our truth. You know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, share, reach out. Let me know. Put inside of me if you don't want to share your personal journey. Put purple hearts in the comments. You don't want to share your personal journey. But equally, be free to share whatever you want to share in the comments. And let's open up this discussion, male and female, of mental health matters. Until next time, thank you very much. Watch this space, watch other spaces. Inside of me lives inside of you. 2.